So I'm about to embark on building a loft bed out of these steel pipes that you see here and these pipe clamps. So the pipes are about 42 millimeters diameter, and then you simply connect them together with these various pieces, and then eventually that should result in a structure like this, like the design I have on the computer. Sorry about the washing machine, it just started spinning as I started the video. But yeah, it should become a bed, a loft bed, where you have a ladder made out of pipes on the one side and this platform at the top, and it's going to straddle a narrow room, which is this one here. So I have a desk and stuff over in that corner right now, and then we have this space in the middle. It's quite a high ceilinged room, and in this central space here, that's where the bed is going to go. Which means that later on then, can just simply walk through underneath it and get to the other side, and yeah, it will create a lot more space in this small bedroom. That's the idea. I started by spending some time thinking about which order to put all this stuff together in, so that I can actually get it together. It might get a bit tricky, but we'll see. The first thing I did was I put a sock on top of each pipe to protect the wall, and then this is now the one of the short sides. So this is the foot side of the bed, and I've simply slid on the correct pieces for these. So starting with the foot down there, and then we have the connector to a side connector for one of the sidebars, two of the wall fasteners. These will actually fasten the bed to the wall, and then we have here the three-way clamp for the actual platform. So I'm intending to connect all that together and then raise it up at the end, and then at the very top there will be this piece on both sides. So now I am going to try and connect those two together, and then we have that end, the short end, ready. Okay, so that actually worked quite well. I've got the foot end of the bed screwed together now. I had to replace these with towels because yeah, the socks wouldn't cut it any longer, but you can see got that piece up there, and same thing on that side. And I've then tightened that screw there, and I've temporarily tightened this guy, and yeah, it's essentially just using this tool and then tightening that. I've tightened this one. I'm going to have to loosen them later on because this stuff is going to go higher, but for now, just for some stability while I'm building, I've tightened this one and this one. So we have these sidebars here are now screwed together, and that should allow me to continue with the project. Okay, I just had to undo what I just did up here because I realized I forgot a couple of pieces. These things I need to have at the upper section, because above the platform I'm intending to put some wooden boards to make it look a bit nicer, and these will hold these wooden boards. So I need to have two of these for each pole at the upper section. So I'm just going to go up and get these on there as well. I've taken the top piece off here, and this one needs to slide down. So yeah, I'm just going to do that for both of them now. Okay, then the other side is done as well. This is the what's going to become the headboard, the head side of the bed. It's a little bit different to the one on the other side here, because this is where the ladder is going to come. So we have a lot more of these connectors. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps on the ladder, and then here comes the platform that the bed is then resting on. But over here we don't have this because that's just going to be a normal side. That was a little bit trickier to get together for some reason, but I managed in the end. Now the next step that I didn't really think about before is these ones, the wall brackets. I thought that I might be able to drill somehow with this thing in place, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm probably going to have to mark these out now, where the holes are going to go, and then remove the entire thing and drill the holes before continuing with the rest of the bed. Right, so in the last video, the next step I was talking about was marking the brackets on the wall, which I did for all of them. I got them in position, and I marked the screw holes. But then once I'd done that, I thought maybe that isn't such a good idea after all, because there's a big chance that the whole structure will shift a little bit. The positions, when I've got everything in place, I might have to make some adjustments, and the holes, I mean, they might not correspond exactly any longer with the brackets here, so I got a bit unsure about that. And so I decided not to do it right now after all. And then also when I did that, I noticed that this whole frame was actually not straight vertically. So one thing, if you're doing this, make sure you check when you put things together initially. Make sure you check the with the spirit level. Now it's fine. I managed to fix this, but it was pretty off. I mean, it was like out there, something like this when I checked it, and I'm not sure exactly why it happened, but I just readjusted a bit. I swapped that bar with that bar. They were slightly different in length, and just retightened everything and managed to get it a lot straighter. But yeah, so that was that. But to be honest, that's the least of my worries right now, because I realized a much bigger flaw in the whole process. So my idea was here to do the sides and then simply stick on the lengthwise pipes here with the platform and so on. But here is now a pipe with the right length for the side. And I was thinking that I would be able to slot these in with the bed in place here, but what I now realize is that it's just a tiny bit too long to actually be able to first fit it in on that side and then also get it into the other side. Reason being that these have a certain width. I mean, there'll be a connector around the pipe. I mean, this pipe will go in closer, but even when that's sitting as far as it can in that direction, and on the other side, that's how the connector will look when the bed's standing. So there is just no way. You see, there's a bit of overlap here on the pipe, and there is a bit of overlap. Well, yeah, there is enough of an overlap here that I'm not able to just push it in one side and then push it in the other side. I simply just don't have enough room here between the walls. One other option I thought of would simply be to clear this whole area out, remove the desk, remove the clothes, everything, because there's a little bit more width here in the room. You can see this wall here. So what I could do is I could pull the whole structure back here and then use this extra bit of space to be able to to keep the two sides, just move them over here, but then have enough width to actually fit the lengthwise pipes in. Okay, job done. Desk is out, clothes are out, everything's out. So yeah, gonna try and move these two pieces into place and then hopefully make some progress. So now that I got a bit more space, I've managed to get the long sides in somewhat. I've pulled everything down here, so this is the upper bars. That was going to be the platform that the bed is going to rest on, which is later going to be raised. And I have put in the two side pipes, resting them on suitcases like this. For now, since this frame is leaning against the wall, so we get like quite a natural angle here. The next thing now is I'm going to slot in these crossbars. Once that's done, hopefully I'll be able to attach it over here. Okay, and the crossbars are in. That was not very difficult. I simply kept this unfastened, and then I could angle both of these out a little and then slot the bars in and tighten. So now that's all tight. Connection there still to be done. It's starting to look like a bed now. The platform is in place. I managed to just lean this side forward a bit off the wall and had to support it, so it got a little bit higher up here, and then connected these two corners, and then I could take the suitcases away. One step further. Now the railing along the long side towards the window is now up, so that gives it a bit more stability. So now we essentially have all the pieces attached that needed the wider room, so in theory I should be able to move it back now. So the platform is now raised to the height it should be, and this was a massive pain. It took me ages to get this done because I had to first start on this side, loosen the two bolts, push it up a few centimeters, and then tighten again, and then go over here, do the same thing here, push it up, tighten, go back, and then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I got it up to 190, which is the height it should be at now. Just a few more steps before moving the bed. These ones, I put some protective socks on again, and also these are the wall brackets. Also turn them towards the wall, all of them, before the move, because it's so narrow over there that if I leave them to this side, there's not enough room to turn them around later on. So we need to have them in position before moving. So I've done that throughout, and then I've also put these crossbars at the height where they need to be, because another another thing with a narrow room is that I'm not quite reaching that screw on the outside corner there with the tool I'm using when it's here, because again there's not enough space. And there it is in its right place. I did manage to move it by pulling a little bit open one leg at a time from here to here, but it's so tight up against the wall that for some reason it's leaning a little bit. So the ones up here, I had to pull them down both here and on this side, and in particular over here. I mean, these ones are already right up against the wall, and as we move up it becomes tighter and tighter. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, well, there is a little bit of play. I might be able to fasten it to the wall still, but it was, I mean, a few more millimeters and it wouldn't have gone in. So yeah, lucky. The bed is now attached to the wall. Wall brackets are in, both on this side here and on this side, and now it's really stable. I mean, it doesn't move at all. You can really pull it, and it's rock solid. I had to use some wooden spaces here because the walls are not entirely straight, so I have a spacer there but none there, and here we had like this wall is particularly crooked, I think, because here I couldn't even, and also this one is not, I couldn't get this one entirely straight, so it's leaning a little bit that direction. So that meant that here I had to put a big block, and this one I couldn't actually get any higher than this. So it's a bit ugly, not symmetrical here. I couldn't get that, but I'm gonna have to live with that. And this side as well, I needed a spacer down there, and the ladder as well I've put in. So that was simply a matter of sticking these ones in, tightening, and then sliding this long post in, sort of coming from the side and then in up and then towards those, and then tightening that. And the screws and plugs I used, I'm going to show those as well. I used a 10 millimeter diameter plug, 50, which is 50 millimeters long. And in this wall here, I use this kind of bolt. These are 8 mil diameter, and yeah, I can't remember, maybe 60, 80 long. No, I think it's 80 long actually, and because this is a brick wall, and it's okay. And the other wall I use these shorter ones, same thickness, but this wall here is it's not a supporting wall. It's just a thin. It's no more than 6-7 centimeters thick. So I used a much shorter screw to fix these ones. Okay, next phase completed. This slatted base for the mattress. I've been cutting them boards to size and screwing together, and it's now in place, ready for the mattress to go on. And just to show how this is constructed, I simply have four supporting battens here going across, and then I put these little blocks on the edges here just to keep it in place so that it doesn't move back and forth, and then simply place the slats on top and then screw it in with just one screw in each batten here, and yeah, that's that. Now the mattress is up and the final pipe section attached here. I had to get some help with this, so a friend was here, and what we did is that we were leaning the mattress here against the ladder, against both ladders like so, and then we simply took one corner each from underneath, lifted it up and slid it all the way up onto the platform, and then high enough that we could flip it over, and then just pushed it in. And then just now I have attached this final piece of piping, leaving a gap here to enter the bed. And then I've also been out to buy some wood. So these pieces of wood, they are 20 centimeters wide, and there will be 2 of those on each side of the bed to provide the side paneling. So there will be two of these pieces here, like so, and likewise around the other side, so you won't see the mattress and the wooden slats here. So for the side paneling for the bed, I bought these relatively cheap pine boards, and now I've treated them all with oil wax combination in more of an oak tone. This one here, since we're in Germany, Osmo Decorwax Eiche Transparent. It's an oil wax mixture that gives it a protective coat, but also a much nicer color, I think. So they don't really look like pine any longer, they look more like some oak thing. So I've done that for all of the side panels, and we have the rest of them here. I've also made some small ones which are actually going to become steps on the wall. We'll see that eventually, maybe, why that's needed. And finally the bed is finished. I've got the side panels up here, the sides, and also on the short sides, the foot and the head side. These are just attached with a bolt. I drilled through the hole. I've got them the right length to fit here, drilled a hole, put a bolt through there, and then on the other side we can see how it looks. Here they just come out and there's just a nut, so that worked quite well. One thing on this side, because of the slats here, you can see the length. This one that goes along the bed here, it actually rests on this steel pipe here, and it goes a bit too far out, so I had to cut 4 little sections out of this lower sideboard just to get it to fit. But that worked out as well in the end, so no problem there. On the other side, there's a slight problem here because these boards only come in 2 meters. They don't come longer than 2 meters, and the side of the bed here is just slightly longer. It's like 206 or something like that. So that meant that I had to make a little make a little hack to get these to fit here, because I didn't have enough board to drill through. So I've simply taken a kind of, I don't know what to call that thing, but I have it here. One of these things. And just simply screw that in to the side of the board, and then fit the bolt through there with a few of these they're kind of like washers, but they have a sort of spring, a cut which makes them sort of spring a bit. So I use those to pad out the extra distance between the hole and the metal bracket. And here's what it looks like from above. I didn't get quite as high an edge as I thought I would up here, because the mattress was actually, it ended up a bit thicker than I thought, but it's good enough, I think. So we have a nice and steady, nice and solid area up here. And yeah, if you were wondering what these little shelves were for, I showed them in a previous section. It's for this guy. I realized that he could not climb this ladder here. I just simply got no grip, so I made him this little cat ladder here, so now he can get up to the bed as well, which he likes to do at night. What do you think, Manrik? Is it good? Huh? Is it working for you?